Three, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Alpha Outdoor Industries, where you outdoor specialties where you can get the Stanfield stool.
There's strike one.
Do what now?
There's strike one.
I am Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
Okay.
And I want to give a shout out to Daryl Sandoval, good friend of ours that's been in the hospital, been really sick in California. Daryl, I hope you get better, bud. And with us today, in the trees of East Texas, the man who only bangs supermodels, the owner of Old Dog
There's
Outfitters, works at Cadillac Creek, Mr. Cole Townsend from Abilene, Texas. How you doing, Cole?
Good. How are you guys?
Did you see where I threw in? He bangs supermodels.
Only
supermodels.
That sounded a lot better. That sounded real good.
Have you ever slept with an ugly woman?
A couple times. Those are pretty good, honestly.
They put in extra effort.
They do. They gotta balance everything out. You know, they don't want to just be a one-trick pony.
You get the back massages, the back tickles, and the hair stuff. You know.
Yeah. You know.
Those girls like to go the extra mile.
And they're very sweet and accommodating. You know, they're very good for your ego.
There ain't nothing worse than an ugly woman with a bad attitude.
Oh no, that's the worst. That's terrible.
The ugly ones can cook, so they last longer. That's a fact.
How many days did you?
They know how to grill.
How many days did you hunt last year? Do you have a tally?
Last year and this year, or like the season?
Yeah, last
From
season.
September
to the end of whenever you stopped in Texas, or did you keep going in snow goose hunt season?
And let's see, we hunt around 60 days in Canada, and I think I hunted around 95 in Texas. I didn't go to Arkansas this year, which was a blessing. I never want to go back to that place. I'm actually going to Canada and Saskatchewan next week, so we're not done yet.
You're going to go snow goose hunt up there?
So, I don't know, 100, yeah.
Oof. Jeez.
I saw Mikey shot a stack yesterday up there, and I'm thinking, God dang, it's fucking almost May.
In Canada?
Yeah. He got a vax just so he could go there.
Yeah, I know. That's the struggle up there right now. I hate it. We lost a lot of clients to people not wanting to get vaxxed. Everyone's from the South.
Now, is this your second year? Is this Old Dog's second year rocking and rolling?
So yes, it's actually our third year, but we were able to get up there during the pandemic where they closed the border. We just took Canadians hunting. Mm-hmm. But for full tilt, I guess, it would be our second year, but this coming September will be our fourth year up there. So.
And you weathered the COVID storm, and now you back up and running.
Yeah, we were able to make it out, thank goodness. Basically just went up there to kind of keep farmers happy and keep our relationships up there. That's all we got out of it for the most part. Broke even on the money side of things. So yeah, it was good. I'm ready for this year. We've got a full client list and some new areas to hunt, some new allocations, new lodge. It'll be fun.
Now, where's the lodge? How did you come about this lodge? Were you guys just looking for like a piece of property that you could house people, or is this something that you've remodeled?
Well, we're still working on purchasing a lodge up there, but we basically just rent one from a guy that uses it for big game hunters up there. So he rents it out every year. So we just stay in touch with him and try to keep him happy basically right now until we want to. Well, the deal is we don't know where we want to center our lodge, so we're not going to purchase something yet. So this is like the closest thing we can get to it right now. as far as building something or buying something up there, we're just kind of waiting to see where we want to center our place for the closest area to our best areas.
So, on average, how far do you guys like drive on a normal day?
On a normal day, probably 30 minutes or
That
less.
ain't bad.
No.
So, no, it's not bad, but I mean, you're still getting a migration where we're at, right? Like southern Alberta. So early September, we kind of hunt up to an hour away. Early September, when everything's in our northern zones, and then later, once October hits, we're driving really further than 30 minutes. It's really nice, but September's kind of difficult because things are moving. The specks are coming through our northeastern side of our zone, so we're going to try to kill those. And the mallards are up there, but once they move down to our place, we have like two of the biggest waters in Alberta, and they'll never go dry. So that's kind of where all the birds. Once it starts getting cold, things are freezing up all over the smaller ponds and whatnot. They kind of centralize to where we're at. Later in the year, October, November.
Well, that's handy. I mean, you don't want to have to be burning the road down too much. So when you guys opened Old Dog, what had you hunted in this area prior to that, or did you just go up there blind and you started finding all the fields and all that good stuff?
It wasn't completely blind. A good buddy of mine actually called me, and he was like, "Hey, these allocations are really good. They're up for sale." I called Thomas, my business partner up there now. We basically just got on a phone call and was like, "Well, we might as well at least go check it out." We booked flights, went up there, wanted to see what kind of grain and stuff is around there, and the guy that gave us the intel basically said it was good. And then we talked to another guy while we were up there because we kind of put it on our Instagram actually. And we're saying we're going up there. And another outfitter reached out to us, an older guy. And he literally picked us up from the airport and drove us around our areas because he was trying to sell us something too. He wanted to sell us one of his allocations too. So it just kind of all fell into place, really. And we're like, well, we can't really pass this down. The guy we bought our stuff from originally was getting kicked out of the outfitting world up there because he was doing a bunch of sketchy stuff. Like the feds were on him or whatever they call them up there, dumping birds, not cleaning them, all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, we really just lucked out when we got into it, got in pretty cheap, and called all the clients we'd taken before and made it happen, really.
So was that what happens if you have like infractions up there? They make you sell your zones, or was he trying to do this to get away from pending charges?
So, no, I don't know. I don't know about any charges or anything. Basically, what we know is put up his stuff for auction, and they gave him a date. Mm-hmm. So if he didn't sell his stuff before that date, it was going up for auction. So he was really trying to get rid of it, and his price would have been cheaper than it going up for auction because everyone in Alberta that has they're part of APOS, they can look and see what's up for sale. So that price would have gone higher than what we paid. But we were just lucky that we got in contact with the guy before anyone else did.
The hunting looks phenomenal up there. I mean, the amount of greenheads that you guys shoot and the geese, I mean, it looks like paradise.
It's unreal. There was one point last year where we hunted the same field late October is my favorite time of year. The greenheads are green. They're not brown anymore. And there was one point in the year where we hunted the same field, shot 8 limits of mallards 12 days in a row out of the same field, like the last week of October. And none of the hunts were longer than an hour. I mean, it was like 4 volleys, 8-man limit, get out. It was crazy.
That's living the
Early September. early September is tough up there where we are because we don't get the Arctic birds. We don't shoot lessers. We've shot one lesser in 3 years up
So
there.
it's all
We just
biggies.
hunt big honkers. Yeah, big honkers and mallards, and we get to hunt the specks for a week and a half, realistically. Then they're gone. They're headed to y'all.
So were the specs are further west, I guess.
Further
They're
east.
further east of you. I got my fucking. I think
Yeah,
I've got my
they're-
provinces mixed up.
One of the things that makes that area so unique, like you said, is the big geese and killing the greenheads. I mean, that's a great thing. And I think this year vaccines aren't going to be required to cross that border, and I think that will sure open up a lot
Oh
more.
my gosh.
I don't hunt
No.
at all anymore, but I would go back to Canada to hunt field ducks in October like that.
Right.
I would do that, but I'm not going to get a vax.
Yeah.
But if I lose a vaccine, I would come up and be your guest and hunt for 3 or 4 days just because I'm that good a guy, Cole.
Man, I appreciate it. I don't blame anyone for not doing it. Thomas and I did not want to get it, but it was like, we don't get it. We don't go up there, and we lose everything to the local outfitters up there. You know, they get with our farmers, or I don't know. You just don't want to go a year without talking to those people out there. I mean, we're telling them Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, hope your kid's doing all right all year long, just to keep a relationship with them. As up there, you can't pay anyone to hunt their
Right.
field, so it's really a relationship you have to keep. I mean, you can gift them things like we'll give them a Yeti coffee cup at the end of the year, or give them we get all of our meat processed, so we'll give them some of that meat. They love that. Farmers eat goose sticks or whatever while they're in the tractors, and we just love being up there. I mean, that year where we could book a full calendar where none of the U.S. guys could come up, we went fly fishing. I mean, there's incredible bull trout, brown trout, and rainbow trout fishing. I mean, an hour from where we are, 2 hours from where we are. So it was an incredible experience. We don't regret going up there at all. I know some outfitters that are east of us a couple hours, they regret not going up there.
That COVID year.
Because the COVID year. The COVID year was a big year. I mean, there was a big outfitter out east, came up the next year and couldn't get on any ground. All of his stuff was dry. I mean, he had no idea what was going on. Booking a full calendar of people, it's a big deal to go up there, and we're happy we did.
I don't blame anybody for getting a shot. If you got to do business wise, it's just like if you played in the NFL or whatever you did, whatever it takes to feed your family. If they tell you got to have a shot, that's your personal choice. I don't hold that against anybody for getting it.
Right.
But don't hold it against me for not getting it either. It's a two-way street.
Did you see, little side note, a kid in Chicago hung himself because he became the target. So everybody in his school started picking on him that he was not vaccinated. Well, it was not true. He was vaccinated, but he was the butt of all the jokes in class. He became the Snapchat. They started ridiculing him, and it wasn't true. He was vaccinated. And this went on for months. The parents were calling the school September, October, November, December, like, please just help my kid. He's just getting it's relentless. And in January, he took his life.
That's too bad.
15 years old, all for not
Wow.
for. I mean, fuck. That's tough. But, I mean, just like you said, like, respect everybody's decision. If you want to get the vaccination, get it. But if you don't, then you'll be fine.
Well, it makes me feel good to know that Maxine Waters has had all the shots and she has COVID now, but thankfully she had all the shots, she said.
I couldn't imagine booking a schedule full of people and not going up there to see what was what. And then just, we'll get there in September and hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, everyone thinks you go to Canada, it's the easiest thing in the world, which they're not wrong, but you still got to do your homework. You don't do your homework, you're still going to have really bad hunts. And Canada's just the place where you can have a really good hunt every day. I mean, if you don't know what's going on, then you're going to have a few bad ones, and we just don't want to do that.
Well,
but
everybody, all of your clients know that it is Canada, and they know the expectation is a little bit higher because you're going to Canada.
I will tell everybody listening to this right now, if you're booking a trip to go to Arkansas snow goose hunting, or you can go to Canada to hunt, booking Canada, because the reality is in Canada, you are going to have those hunts. The reality in the snow goose world is you're rolling the dice. I had a guy call me yesterday, and I told him, he asked me about going to Arkansas. I said, you book a 3-day hunt. One day you'll probably have a really good hunt. One day you're going to have a really shitty hunt, and hopefully that middle day will be somewhere in between. And I think that's probably a pretty fair analysis.
And I will never understand why people spend, Arkansas, you spend, I don't know, $1,500, $2,000 for meals, lodging, and let's say add shells into it. We'll just put them Canada and Arkansas, the same thing. Meals, lodging, and shells in Arkansas for $1,800 for 3 days. You get to kill, what is it, 2 specs? 1 spec?
Ooh.
3 specs?
Is it 2 specs in Arkansas?
It's 2 specs.
Yeah.
They get to kill, let's say, 2 specs a person the first day. They get to kill 5 or 6 mallards one day, and then 2 specs the third day. And you can spend $2,500 to $3,000, $2,500 to $3,000 up in Canada, and you can kill 8 mallards and 8 geese every day. You can get. I mean, it just doesn't. It'll never make sense to me. I know it's a big trip, and everyone thinks you're crossing the border. It's a big deal. We can just drive to Arkansas. You know, that's people's thing. But I don't know. If I'm going to spend an extra $500, I'm going to go book a trip in Canada, because the success rate is unbelievable. Everyone up there. I mean, across the board, you're killing more birds than you will in Arkansas.
Well, the comparison deal, though, I was comparing the snow goose hunting deal in the end of the year, because that's what I wanted to know about the shooting snow geese. Because they think they're going to go up there and kill 200 birds every day, and it doesn't happen. It happens. It happens sometimes, and that's what I told the guy. You better book a 3-day trip, and hopefully one of those 3 days will be like it is. But that's a big dice, rolling the dice that way. So, you know, Canada is definitely the pinnacle of a place to go shoot birds. You get to do it before your season really starts, so it's a preseason to your season, a kickoff thing.
Right.
The Canadian politics can be a real pain in the ass, can't they, Andy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta have your shit. You gotta have your shit in order, or they won't let you through. You know, it happens.
Did y'all have some? Y'all used to go up there every year.
We did 2 years.
Andy got banned.
Did y'all travel up there?
Yes, Andy got banned 1 year, so we had to sit out a whole year.
I got kicked out. Papers weren't in order. It was a whole fucked up mess. We teamed up with a company that solely does big game hunting up there. Well,
they contacted us.
They contacted us, so we struck a deal up in like April-ish, probably around this time of year, maybe a little bit earlier.
What deal are we talking? Like
Yeah. We would team up with it. They had a lodge. They had the zones. We would take our clients waterfowl hunting. They didn't do any waterfowl hunting.
They
only
deer,
did big game,
and bear in the spring. And I think their deer season basically started before
November. Right after waterfowl season. So they wanted to utilize their lodge for September and October. So we strike up a deal April, this time of year, and they were going to provide all the, the company's theirs. They were going to get all the permits and shit like that for us to cross. Well, summer comes and Jeff's talking to him and still nothing. So it comes time to leave, and I don't have a work visa or anything like that. So,
right.
They're like, oh, you won't have any problems. Just go up there, tell them you're hunting with buddies and blah, blah, blah. So I did that. And that excuse lasted about 90 seconds when the Border Patrol stopped us. It's September 3rd or some shit like that, and we've got a decoy trailer, and well, how long you staying? It's like, oh fuck, I wasn't prepared for that. A month.
And y'all drove up there?
Drove up there from Knox City, so drove all day.
Oh my god.
Got turned around. And then had to, so they didn't let us in the first day.
They let Tony in.
They let Tony in, and then the next morning I had to go. So we were at a little port, and we had to go to a bigger port. I can't remember where now. And they banned me for a year from entering Canada.
Oh, so probably Portal.
So then, yes, it was Portal. So then the next year, same type deal. Spring rolls around. Hey, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right this year.
We had to have Tony drive the trailer and leave it in Regina
Yes.
And then or Regina or Saskatoon somewhere, and then the guy owned the lodge knew a local guy that could guide, and they used our trailer, and then me and Tony had to drive back up and pick up the trailer when the season was ended.
Yeah. So then the next year, same type deal. When are we going to get this? We need to get the ball rolling. Like, what paperwork do you need? What information do you need so that we can do this right? That way we don't have any problems at the border. And same type deal. August rolls around, and they have, I guess, a lawyer that does all their paperwork.
No, I had to contact a guy in Dallas that specialized in
international travel
something,
business. And he wrote up a letter that got me there. But I'm telling you what, my butt was puckered the whole time. I did not enjoy Canada at all. I kept waiting for the doors to get kicked in and like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. Get the fuck back out.
Yeah.
I flew up on the next year, and they got me in customs, and they started going through all of my stuff, and all I had was a video camera. I was just going to film. And the lady asked me, she goes, you don't have a hunting license. I said, no, ma'am, I'm not hunting. Well, you can hunt also up here. I said, yes, ma'am, I'm aware of that. I don't really care about hunting and shooting anything. I'm just coming up here. Well, you can buy a license. Well, she thought I had a DWI, and I couldn't buy a hunting license because I had a DWI. And I mean, this went on for like 30 minutes.
Which he does not.
And I've never had a DWI in my life.
Jeez.
And I finally told her, I said,
no, you can't even cross the border.
And that's what they thought, though. That's what I did. And I told her, I finally told her, I said, ma'am, I understand now how people feel when they sit in court and I'm grilling their ass. She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm a judge in Texas also. And I said, I know exactly how they feel now, especially people that hadn't done a damn thing wrong. I said, because I haven't done anything wrong. She goes, you're a judge? I said, yes, ma'am. She walked back, come back in. She goes, okay, you can leave, judge. And that was the end of it. But that's what they did. They thought I had a DWI. They held me up for 30 to 45 minutes. But I'm telling you, that last day, Andy and them got checked by the game wardens. I was freaking so ready to get our shit. I was not comfortable till we got to Plentywood, Montana.
And it was just so anyway. It was a bad fit. The company we were with, they didn't hold up their end of the deal. So it was a 2-year
So did
deal
they have
for us? That was it.
So did they have waterfowl allocations purchased?
They had everything.
The whole zones.
They had everything.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the zones. They just didn't. They never pursued any of the waterfowl hunting. They strictly did deer and bear and.
The people that ran the lodge were really nice people, and the guy that took care of their deer hunting, the Canadian people, they were really nice people.
Oh, they're great up there. They're so
everybody
nice.
I met was really, really nice. We didn't get turned down on anything we asked to hunt, but it was not. It was just not anything I really, really enjoyed. Just because the crap. The thing that sucked the worst is we took all of our layout blinds and we took all the grass off of them because we was told we can't bring them back with any grass on them. Guy
we have to do that.
Didn't even open up our trailer.
It was late at night. It was like 9:00 in the evening time whenever we finally
got to the border.
And they're like, fuck, you're good. You got any ducks or geese in there?
It happens.
No, sir. Just keep rolling.
I made a comment. Obama was president then, and I made a comment. I said, yep. I said, y'all work for that stupid fucker in Washington, D.C.? And they said, yeah, we can't stand that bastard anyways. I knew we were gold then, boy.
And it's crazy across the border. You think they're just going to drill you. But last 2 times I've gotten back into the U.S. within 10 minutes. I mean, trailer and all. They don't even. You have any guns? Yeah. What do you have? A few shotguns. All right.
Yeah.
Happy hunting. It's crazy.
That's how it was for us coming back.
But the paperwork thing, it freaked us out the first year. I mean, we drove 30 hours up there. Basically, Thomas drove all the way from South Carolina to Alberta, which if you don't know where Alberta is by now, it's on the west side of Saskatchewan. But yeah, we get up to the border with a packet. I'm not kidding you. It was probably an inch thick. There was like 100 pages. We had a Canadian attorney do all of our stuff, and we handed him this book basically, and waited like an hour going up there. And we're just sweating bullets, sitting in the room waiting for him to, and then they just said go on or whatever. I mean, it was nerve wracking.
Yeah, because I mean, and for especially for you guys. You'd paid an attorney to make sure all your P's and Q's, you minded your P's and Q's, dotted your I's, crossed your T's, and then it's like, oh, fuck, I hope he got everything in there.
So let's talk about Cole Townsend, how you got in the waterfowl business. You grew up in Abilene, Texas. Now, you're a protege of Justin Hill, correct?
You're part of his branch.
Yes, sir. I was. I love Justin.
Did you?
I remember back in the day, Andy used to be mean to me when I was 15.
I was never mean to you. I might have busted your balls a little bit.
No, you busted my balls a lot. That was funny.
Yeah.
We both did. That was a fun deal back then. I missed those days. To be
when
honest.
did you start? So did you start
Those were
right
some-
out of
those
you
were
started
good
right out
times.
of high school, or were you in college whenever you started with Justin?
So when I started with Justin, I don't even know how do you want to say this a start date, but I mean, I was in 8th grade going into freshman year of high school whenever I started. I wouldn't say I worked for him. I wasn't getting paid my first few years there. I was just there to hunt. I mean, I just there to
In
learn.
8th grade?
But yeah, I was 15 years old. The first time I was hunting up there was in 8th grade. And then I think freshman year of high school, I was up there kind of doing work, helping them out, cleaning birds or whatever, and brushing blinds, basically doing whatever they said, being their little bitch boy per se. But I got to learn, I got to see some incredible hunting. But how I got started was my buddy Ryan, his dad got Justin, I guess from work, and Ryan was his son, got Ryan with Justin and them, and Ryan basically said, hey, I have another buddy that would come do this. I guess they were needing some help or wanted more help or didn't really care. So, yeah, I was just able to kind of walk in and, help out and get started. And I just loved it ever since, really.
Well, and that's so important because, you knew that you were the low man on the totem pole, but you didn't care. Like, you were just, you did it purely because this was something that you loved to do.
Yeah.
And you were going to take your lumps. You were going to clean ungodly amount of geese. You were going to fucking brush blinds until your fingers bled. But it was just part of it. You did it because you loved it, and it was pure passion.
Mm-hmm. And that's a big topic of discussion here from today's guide world, from back then. I mean, there was a totem pole. Chief, there was workers, there was guides, and there's the rest of us. And you owned it. I mean, you work your way up. Now there's kids. I mean, I get DMs all the time, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds messaging me for a job. And where have you worked before? Have you ever guided? You think I'm going to put you in a field or for, these kids are asking for a lot of money. Message me saying, hey, I'll come work for you for free for a year and I'll work my ass off. I'll work my ass off for you for a year. I'll message you back. Say, hey, I've reached out to 100 outfitters asking for money and trying to get a guide job. Well, these outfitters, no one's going to put you in a field guiding for getting paid when you don't have any clue what you're doing. And then once these kids do become guides, they're I mean, they think they're the greatest thing on earth. You're just there to work. You're there to please the clients. You're there to make them happy and have a good time and try to do the best you can to put them on birds. And I don't know. I just don't see how kids are getting these guide jobs these days. If they're not getting paid or if they're getting paid or I don't know. And they think they're king ding dong because social media has ruined things. I didn't even have an Instagram account until I was almost in college, basically. But
that's
I don't know.
That it is interesting.
I know
how
it's a
you don't
big
how you
topic.
don't get, and you might after I spill the beans. So I'm kind of hesitant, but your DM should just be blowing up right now. Hey, I want to come to Alberta. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll work for free. I'll brush blinds. I just want to get on good hunts. And like you said, the amount of experience that kid would get just from 1 year working for free or for slave labor or whatever, because you're not gonna let the kid fucking starve up there. I mean, let's be honest. You know, you're gonna take care of the kid.
No.
But if he would work for slave labor, slave wages, he would get to see a part of the world he's never seen before. He would get to see hunting that is the best on the planet.
Lifetime memories.
And if he's good, you probably have him back next year for a little bit more money or something like that. And I mean, it would just pay if this was truly something that this kid wanted to do. It would set him up for his career to take one step back, go to Canada, get the experience, and he could fucking build his whole resume off of 1 year.
Right.
But they don't think that.
Right.
No, but
All they think is I
think
need this, I need my gas, I need fucking trailer full of shit. And I'm not gonna brush blinds. I'm not gonna fuck with birds. They come with a fucking list.
I had a guy reach out to me one time that wanted a job, and his daddy bought him a trailer. You know, probably, I don't know. It was like, I had it up in my head. It was probably $15,000 in gear. He never got it before. Daddy just bought him all this stuff to get him a guy job.
I had a guy message.
I'm like, what a waste of money.
I had a resume, I think last season. I could look it up, but the kids, one of the things on his deal was, I've never guided before. I've only shot ducks, but I've watched a lot of goose hunting videos on YouTube, and I think I can do it. I thought, buddy, that. And here's the thing: if the kid would have just told me, I just want to come learn, like Andy said, and because we had some kids last year that never guided that turned out to be really good guys.
But they all said the same thing before we gave them the job. I just want to learn, and I'm a hard worker.
And they were.
I can work. I can deal with that.
And those are the best ones.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, that was the big deal. That was the deal with Justin, because you know how it was 10 years ago in Knox City. You know how good the hunting was. I didn't care about anything. The coolest thing in the world was to me when Justin would hand me a $100 bill, like, randomly. Hey, here's $100, or here, go get you some food. Here, fill your gas tank. Here's the card. Just give it back. Don't do anything stupid. I mean, that was the coolest thing in the world.
If I had Justin Hill's money, I'd burn my own. So, he's one.
I know, looking back at it, I kind of wish I bought some bigger purchases, but
he's just said go have lunch. He didn't say where I had to eat.
Probably
did he?
Some new tires.
Did he? Now, when you were 8th grade, you were already taller than him, right?
That's why.
Absolutely.
That's why he
Out of the I really hope he. I hope he will. Watches this.
That's why he docked your pay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, believe it or not, I was like the only guy that didn't make fun of his height. I took up for him.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I always take up for him.
But and all those guys ripped on him pretty good. But I did get the name from Justin, that he would tell clients my name is JB, and that was Justin's bitch. So I'd go shake clients' hands. Hey, I'm Cole. He'd run up, out of the woodworks, be like, no, that's not his name. His name is JB, and you know what that stands for? He's Justin's bitch. He's my bitch. It was so funny.
The people that are in other businesses, they don't even a fire department. They can't act like this no more. This is one of the few jobs. The oil field, I'm sure, is just like this still too, where you can fuck with someone and be themselves, and nobody gets their butt hurt. If they do tough shit, grow up and get some thicker skin. It used to be that way at the firehouse, but now somebody would go tell someone at HR and they'd be in big trouble and shit. But that's what the world needs. And these young kids, you're right. If a young kid, when they apply for jobs, they ought to know, you know what, you're going to start at the low man on the totem pole. We've been real fortunate that I had Austin Kaufman and Stoner come to work for us that had guided before, and they didn't have a lot of ego, and that worked out good. No egos. But that's the problem when you hire a guy that's been everywhere else. He's got a fucking ego. I don't want that damn ego. No, nobody does. I want you to come in, do your job.
Austin Kaufman.
Do what?
No, Austin, he's from Nebraska.
He's from Nebraska.
He works at Flatland now. Flatland?
Yeah, or I think that's Flatland. Great guy. Worked for us for a couple of years. No ego. As good a hunter as I've ever been around. Great guy. But it's hard to find guys that have guided at other places that come to work, when they come to work for us or anybody else, after they've been somewhere 2 or 3 times, they know more than everybody. Well, it wasn't like that with him, and Stoner wasn't that
Right.
way. And
That's good.
But that's the hard part. But these kids, like you said, they're 18, 19 years old. They get out of school. They want to be a guide, but they don't want to put in the time, the effort that it takes to do it. Plus, when you're 18 years old and you're in high school and you get to hunt on weekends and that's all you hunt, or you get to go on Christmas break and hunt, you're not near as smart as you think you are,
Yeah, exactly. You're not hunting 100 days a year or 200 days a year.
200 days, let's just say a guy that works 75 days a year. Out of them 75 days you're guiding, there's going to be 25 days of those that you're going to have to make it work. It ain't going to be on the X. You're going to have to figure out how to make it work. That's
more
and
than
those
that.
kids don't understand that.
No.
No. And that's where the hunting aspect of it, to me, on the priority list goes down. I think the first priority is you're in a customer service industry. We've been up from 4:30 to dark every day. You have to wake up knowing that the hunt might not be, the best for the client. So that's where the guide comes in my opinion. And you're trying to keep these clients happy, knowing the hunt might not be the best. You can keep a smile on their face and put them on a really great hunt the next day, hopefully, And all these kids, they think it's all about hunting. You're a guide. You just kill birds. You just sit there. You blow your call, and you get better at calling, and you're the best guide in the world. No, the best guides I know that are good communicators, and they can talk to anyone. Those are the best guides.
I can tell the kids that aren't going to make it in the first conversation I have with them. I've sized them up whether they'll be back the next year or not. Whether they'll fucking make it past the Christmas break without wanting to hang themselves. Because those are the kids, just like you said, all they talk about is the piles and what they're going to do. And if you don't have a deep, deep, deep love for this, and if you can't, like you said, communicate with grown men, and if you've got an ego, and if you've got like this, because one thing is you're dealing with people that have money. And when you're 19 years old and broke as shit, you don't know how to talk to the guy that's pulling down $150,000 in the oil field. Or you might know how to talk to one group of clients, but you can't talk to the group of lawyers that's here for 3 days. So you're dealing with people with money, and there's some people that are, let's just face it, they're a little jealous of the guy that's got money. But I can tell. I can tell in the first 5 minutes whether a kid's going to make it or not, because he's all about how many birds he's going to kill, and he's all about where he's going to set up and how he's going to do things. And it's just like, you don't have any idea what you're about to run into here.
Yeah. You can figure out the hunting stuff pretty quick. Which way the wind's blowing, where the birds land in the field. It's not that. It's not.
No,
wind
at your back, roost is over there.
Rocket science is being able to talk.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's all the other shit. It's working with other
difficult.
people. It's communicating with clients. It's hey, this is not working. Now I've got to talk to these people and let them know why it's not working, and make this bad hunt just a little bit more palatable, even though it sucks. And I got them for 2 more days, but you got to keep morale high. How has your mindset shifted? Now you're an owner of an outfitter. You've been a guide for so many years. How did your mindset shift whenever you became owner of Old Dog?
Well, when I became owner of Old Dog, I really changed my mindset from, holy cow, I'm just a guide. Trying to do the best I can, and then once you're the owner, you're like, you need to make this happen. You have to make this happen. You can't let these clients go home and talk about the outfitter as a whole. You're the face of the company. Thomas and I are the face of the company. They're going to go home and talk about Johnny, our guide. He wasn't very good, but you don't want them going home saying the owner of this outfitter absolutely sucked. He couldn't talk to us. We hated him. The guide can go on and live with it, but as the owner, you want him to come back, right? you want them to come back year after year after year. So you have to really try to create that relationship with them as well, as far as a guide being like, oh, next day, here's more clients. Let's do the best we can. They'll go home. I probably won't ever see them again. This is, as an owner, I think that's the big deal for me was the transition between trying to do the best I can and creating that day relationship as far as a yearly overtime relationship with people and trying to keep them coming back, asking what they're doing over July 4th. You know, how was Christmas? You know, is your kid in college? How's he doing? Now, I try to keep up with as many people as I can, but that was the biggest shift for me was as the owner, I just wanted to, you know, if a hunt goes bad, you can try to do something about it. Maybe invite them back for the next year, make something happen. But as a guide, you just kind of you can brush it off your shoulder a little bit easier.
It's a lot easier to wash your hands of a client. You know, I got them back to the lodge. It's the last day. It's the last morning.
Mm-hmm.
They're Jeff's problem now, where Jeff has to be the one to, you know, if it wasn't a good hunt, he's got to be the one to save face to get them to come back through the doors the next year. But as a guide, it's easy to be like, okay, they're here.
Right.
Somebody else's problem. But like you said, it's fucking high stakes when you're the owner.
That's where the ownership. Right. That's the big shift. And I really do love it. I mean, I like that about it. I like being able to challenge myself and get better at things because that was something I just really, to be honest, I wasn't good at it. If I had a bad hunt back 6 years ago, I didn't care. I know I did the best I could, but I wasn't thinking about the owner and talking to these clients like, you know, this is why this happened. We could have done better. Or you can come back next year. I guarantee you something, you know, you'll see something cool. I'll get you in touch with the owner, talk to him. Maybe we can work something out that didn't go our way today. It's still hunting. It's not killing at the end of the day. And, I didn't really understand that back in the day. That was a big shift for me. I was just there to work.
That's the hard thing for guys to realize in this business. I don't care if you're going to a $10 million lodge to hunt or you're going to meet a guy in a parking lot in a pickup. It's hunting, and shit happens all the time. And you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. It's what you do on those bad days that's going to keep you in business. Those good days are going to repeat. Them guys are going to come back year after year after year, no matter what. But when you have guys that have bad hunt, it's how you handle it. It's if you got a guy on a 3-day hunt and they have one bad hunt and they have the other 2 days are good days, it's just hunting. If you got a guy that's 1 day only and they come up and they don't do shit, you know, that's the hard part, and it's a fine line to walk for a lot of people. You know, you do have to run a business, and you got to keep it on a business plane, and you got to do it that way. And so many people that are getting in this business do not realize that. You know, if you act like you don't give a shit, you collect their money and they walk out the door, then they might not ever come back. They're probably not going to come back.
And they're going to bash you.
Yeah, but if you
come back.
And that's the thing today too is, but you know, when I first got into business, there wasn't any social media. So if JoJo had a bad hunt, the only people who know about it are the people JoJo talks to. Well, he don't talk to that many people anyways. Right. Nowadays, you can have a single hunter come up and he can bash you on everywhere, and someone is going to resonate on that. Someone's going to be like, oh my God, that, you know. And this is some advice I'm going to give guys too. Don't get into a debate with someone on Facebook or any social media at all. Let it go. Well, because once it gets to the second page, it's over.
Right.
Because so many guys want to do that shit. You know, some guys talk shit about them and stuff. If you want to say, hey, we tried to make it right, it didn't work out, blah, 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 whatever the deal is.
Don't do more than one reply.
Yeah, that's
reply to it. Listen, we did the best we could. It didn't work out to us. Don't get into a fucking dialogue.
No. I see guys, and it's not just hunting, it's all businesses. I see guys with products do that shit, and they get into a 5-page pissing match with guys back and forth. All it does is keep it. Yeah. Most people forget about shit anyways. You know, I can't tell you what I read 2 days ago on Facebook that was negative about somebody because I don't give a shit. And it's not going to make my life one way or the other. Right. But guys do that all the time. I'm like, fuck, I don't know why they're arguing with them. They're making themselves look worse.
Yeah, it only makes you look worse. It don't matter.
So how has social media changed? Because now, I mean, you're putting hunts up on YouTube. You're all over Instagram. Has that made business that much easier for Old Dog, or has that complicated your life in a way that you didn't see coming?
We've gotten a lot more emails once I started the YouTube stuff. But we have, I mean, all of our repeat clients, we've known them forever. They've been on the good, bad, and ugly hunts. So we're going to book all of those people first. They're coming up to have a good time. It's a vacation for them. We don't have to stress it. So as long as we can keep those people happy, the people we've guided, they've killed one bird, they've killed 120 birds, they don't care. Our average clients are 45 to 60 years old. I mean, they're just there to get away from whoever and have a good time, and it's a vacation for them. But yes, if we do have a cancellation, or if we do need a few bookings, or like the COVID year where we couldn't bring up U.S. people, we were able to use social media to our advantage, and we can do ads and target Canadians for our hunts, which is nice. I mean, social media is unreal. I mean, if you need something, you can get it out to as many people as possible. So, I mean, I can't say it doesn't help at all. I wish it would help a little more, but we're not going to get into all the Instagram algorithm stuff. But if y'all can't tell, they have really kind of shadow banned hunters on Instagram. I got more likes and views 40,000 followers ago. I mean, it was almost like it was a nail in the coffin. It's like, man, I could post a dog picture of a dog holding a mallard, and it'd get thousands of likes. Now, if I post a dog picture holding a mallard, it won't break 1,000. I mean, it's crazy. Almost as if I have to put my face in the picture, hide the bird behind my back, and smile just to get likes. And it is what it is. It stinks for us because sometimes we have some really cool videos, but if there's shotguns going off and killing things, it's Instagram's going to shadow ban you. Your first 100 followers are going to like it. The next 100 followers Instagram sends it out to, you're going to get reported, and your photo or video is dead. And it stinks. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it'll go off, but there is a hunting thing going on with Instagram, and it's completely obvious to me. And I that stinks. I'm kind of past that point of just using it really for business in a sense. I try to show some of my life on there, but it really is just a business for me at this point. I'm not trying to be a million follower guy. I don't want 1 million people following me anyway. I'm kind of a loner. I live 30 minutes from a town out in the middle of the woods, but I like my space when I can. I'm around people for 200 days of hunting a year. So
it sucks because I mean, like you said, you got some good content that you want people to see, that you want your followers to see, and then you post it, and you're thinking, okay, it's getting a little bit of steam, and then they just throttle it back.
It just dies. It's crazy. I had a picture get it was probably just a pile picture. I don't know. We were doing something goofy. It got 1,000 likes in 20 minutes. Over 2 hours, it had like 1,100 likes. 20 minutes, 1,000 likes in 2 hours. I mean, it's like, what in the heck is going on? It is what it is. We're pretty soft these days, if we're being realistic here. They just don't like seeing that stuff. And another thing is, everyone and their dog has a camera now, so it's kind of just a repeat thing now. Everyone sees it all day long, scrolling pile. No one gives a crap about a pile picture. People like seeing rain out videos, I'd say. But then again, you have guns going off in your video. It's either going to do really good or really bad. And that's where I wanted to start the YouTube thing, just to see what would happen. And I finally had a really good video of a mallard hunt in Canada. I got good footage. I was able to edit it right. And it got like 50,000, 55,000 views. I'm like, well, okay, we might need to see what happens here and just film everything, get the best rainouts, best stuff on footage I possibly can with the equipment I have, and see what happens. And it's growing. It's hard to get subscribers. People just to subscribe to you, they don't know who you are. So you're trying to show your personality as well to try to grow your business. But the big thing for me was, I mean, that one video, I put Old Dog Outfitters in the first 10 seconds of it. And I want to say we got over 100 emails from that one video of potential clients. So I would recommend it to other outfitters out there, like you guys especially. It is.
You know who I feel bad for are the hunting shows like we saw 15 years ago. I mean, they're fucking dead. They're fucking dead.
Oh my gosh.
There's no sense.
They're dead.
I mean, we'd spend ungodly. By the time we got hotels, which we travel with our entire family, so we're getting 3 or 4 hotel rooms. You got to feed everybody. If you go up Thursday, which for us, we would only do trophy hunters, so we would go up Friday morning, but still. Lunch, dinner Friday, breakfast, lunch, dinner Saturday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on Sunday. By the time you get out of there, snacks, and then the kids want to go do something. You're spending an ungodly amount of money when you could just put that into ads on Instagram or YouTube, or hire somebody to come and get video and edit it and pictures during hunting season, and you're spending the same amount of money, and your reach is just ungodly.
I mean, there's a lot of fake accounts you reach, but there's some good potential clients in there as well. I would spend money on ads versus a show any day. I was going to ask y'all if y'all actually sell hunts.
We used to sell a ton of them.
Before the podcast, which our last year of doing hunting shows was our first year of doing the podcast. 2018. So we started in March of 2018. August of 2018 was our last hunting show to go to with a booth and the whole setup. And then then there was the COVID year, and you had to adapt or die. So like a lot of businesses during that COVID year was just like they found different ways to reach more people. And I mean, but whenever hunting shows were big back in the 90s and early 2000s, that's where Jeff would make a lot of your bookings.
Yeah, back in the late 90s, before the internet really took off, which I would say was 97, 98 probably. And it was still just a baby then at the time. But like in the mid-90s, like 94, 95, I'd go to the Texas Trophy Hunters, and I would write 70% of my business for the year at that show. I mean, it was just crazy, the people that would want to book hunts. And that's where they got a hold of you. They bought everything there. There wasn't a lot of Bass Pro Shops. There wasn't a Cabela's in every town with more than 100,000 people. So those people spent money at those shows. Nowadays, it's not. And the hunting shows are done.
Yeah.
Unless it's something like National Wild Turkey Federation, or it's what the hell else is it? The ducks we went to you, Squad Fest, Game Fair.
Right.
That's the only kind of things that are going to make it. That's got a special genre that they settle in. Waterfowl Festival, something like that. A deer festival maybe, but just your average SCI hunting show in Phoenix or Denver or something, they're in trouble because they want too much for a booth to make it worth your time to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, I could see if you had like a gadget or something, like if you had a product that you wanted to sell, they might do well at hunting shows. But like outfitters like us that are just selling hunts,
nope.
It's kind of
we can sell 5. It's for us to go to a hunting show in Fort Worth to get a booth and do everything. It's going to cost $5,000.
Yeah.
You can spend that $5,000 doing a whole lot more. So it doesn't do you any good. Time you buy a booth, that's $1,500. Time you get hotel rooms for 3 days for 2 or 3 rooms, and you go out and eat dinner, you're going to spend $5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. And $5,000 in hunts is a lot of money.
Yeah,
to make back.
A group of 12 guys for a whole day. So it just doesn't. It's a lot better off to spend that money doing something else. And we did it this year with the camera crew and having a series coming out this year, and that's where we spent our money at, and that's what we'll do next year.
Well worth it.
So we'll start wrapping up here. So you're going back to Canada when?
Well, I'm going to May 5th through 11th, and I'll be going up there middle of August.
So you'll go
season.
May 5 through 11, and then back here you'll do summer and all that good shit, and then up there mid-August.
Yes, sir. We're able to hunt up there because we have our big waters up there. We hunt till almost November 20th if possible. So.
Where are you headed to now? You going to work out or what?
I've got to go pick a friend up at
there you go.
the airport. I almost forgot about it.
Well, Cole, we appreciate you being on here, man. God bless you. Best you the best season in the world. And if we can do anything for you, let us know.
All right, guys. I really appreciate you having me on here.
All right.
Great
Go
day.
pick him up.
Bye.
See you guys.
Well, he forgot his friend at the airport.
The guy's probably texting me. Are you fucking? Where you at? I landed at 10:30.
I'm in the fucking middle of nowhere. He told me like where he's at right now. He has his cell service is shitty, and so there's no telling when that guy sent that text message.
I'm telling you.
If he doesn't get text messages out there, how we got the Skype to go, I have no idea. But anyway, it's good to see what he's
good for him.
He's done a lot since coming out here.
Since being that eighth grader right here, you used to be an asshole too.
Can you believe he said that about me?
Yep. I can believe that 100%. All right. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Check out.
So this is Thursday. Who's going to be the first pick tonight? Draft night's tonight. I won't get to watch it because we got baseball.
Yeah, I'm going to be gone both times. I got 2 games tonight to go to.
And I really don't give a shit.
I do. I like the draft. I think you're going to see Baker Mayfield get traded before the draft starts probably. I think you're going to see.
Waller says it's bullshit. He said he's not heard.
Traded. Yeah, they're not trading him.
Said he's not heard any of this.
The GM come out. Why would you trade him? I mean, that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
I think the first draft pick is going to be the defensive lineman from Georgia, probably.
They said this would be the 5th time in. I could read it.
I don't think
about the non-quarterback.
I don't think a quarterback goes till after pick 10.
Really?
I don't think there ain't no quarterback worth picking. If you do, you're fucking up. Whoever takes Malik Willis, the kid from Liberty, if they plan on him being a quarterback, they better give him 2 years.
Right.
I don't think he's anywhere close to being NFL ready. I think the kid from Georgia is the first draft pick. I think that's who probably Jacksonville takes. I think the kid from Notre Dame and the kid Sauce Gardner and that Kyle Hamilton are probably the 2 most NFL-ready players other than that Hutchinson kid. If that Hutchinson kid don't go to if they take that Neal kid over the Hutchinson kid, the Neal kid, I think it's his last name, the kid from Georgia, he won the underwear Olympics. But I think that the kid from Michigan, the big white boy that plays defensive end, I think he is he will be an immediate impact for whoever takes him.
And let's not forget, Stephen Jones drafted Taco. Jerry drafted Parsons.
Yep.
Don't forget it. Jerry's the man. Can't wait to see what he does.
Thank y'all. God bless y'all. Have a great week. I was going to talk about the Pacific deal.
Go check out all of our great sponsors. Go to Pacific Calls. And if you like turkey hunting, they got a video out with yours truly. We smacked 2 toms in the face. Very good hunt. Boss Shot Shells, Dive Bomb Ministries, Alpha Outdoors, Shin Gear Waders, Dirty Duck Coffee, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Gun Dog Outdoors, Stake Plane, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Bangtail Whiskey.